You wonder what it's like to work with Morgan Freeman and you can't remember that?
And Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
Ever seen someone squirm under the spotlight? Today, we're counting down the most awkward celebrity interview moments ever. From bizarre behavior to uncomfortable questions, and yes, even walkouts, this one's packed with cringe-worthy moments you'll want to watch till the end. Number 1. Joaquin Phoenix's infamous Letterman interview. It was February 11, 2009, and audiences were expecting their usual dose of David Letterman's sarcasm and celebrity charm. But what they got was one of the most uncomfortable, surreal interviews in late-night TV history. Joaquin Phoenix, the acclaimed actor from Walk the Line and Gladiator, walked on stage unrecognizable. His hair was long and disheveled. A thick beard covered most of his face. He wore sunglasses indoors, and he barely spoke. Promoting a new film titled I'm Still Here, Joaquin answered Letterman's questions with sluggish mumbles, long pauses, and a visible lack of enthusiasm. Every second of silence was deafening. Letterman, known for his sharp tongue, tried to save the segment with humor. He fired off quips like, "Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight." The crowd roared with laughter.
And Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
Joaquin didn't flinch. Viewers at home cringed. Was he high? Was he having a breakdown? Was this real? The tabloids exploded the next day. Headlines accused Phoenix of throwing away his career live on TV. David Letterman even joked that it was like interviewing a wax figure with social anxiety. But here's the twist, it was all an act. Joaquin was filming I'm Still Here, a mockumentary directed by Casey Affleck, where he plays a version of himself faking a career shift into rap music, all to expose the media's obsession with celebrity downfall. The Letterman appearance was part of the film's performance art. But the public didn't know that yet. It wasn't until over a year later, in 2010, that Joaquin returned to The Late Show to clear the air. He appeared clean-shaven, calm, and smiling. He confirmed the whole thing was staged, but he admitted something else too, that was a painful night, one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever done. Letterman smiled, unfazed, and responded, "Well, thank you for not sharing that with us last time." Phoenix went on to win an Oscar for Joker a decade later. But his bizarre 2009 Letterman stunt? That moment will live forever, a masterclass in performance and discomfort. Number 2. Billy Bush tries to out Ricky Martin. The late 1990s were the peak of Livin' La Vida Loca. Ricky Martin had taken over the charts, the Grammys, and global headlines. His charisma was electric. His music was everywhere. But behind the hit singles and red carpets, there was one question the media kept circling and one journalist who asked it too bluntly. In a now-lost interview, Access Hollywood host Billy Bush directly confronted Ricky Martin about his sexuality. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't thoughtful. It was a blunt, intrusive question at a time when the Latin pop star was not publicly out and had every right to keep it that way. Martin, visibly uncomfortable, shut down. The air turned cold. The conversation stopped short. Shortly after, the interview was pulled, scrapped, never aired. And according to Billy Bush himself, the footage was destroyed. Years later, in a 2021 podcast interview, Bush admitted it was one of the biggest regrets of his career. He said he was young, chasing headlines, and didn't realize how hurtful or personal the question truly was. "I wish I could take it back. That was not my place." At the time, the media often treated celebrities' private lives like a free-for-all. But even in a pre-cancel culture era, this crossed a line, one that many journalists learned never to repeat. Ricky Martin officially came out years later, on his own terms, with grace and strength. But the memory of that awkward, invasive moment? It remains a warning. Not all questions are worth the scoop. Number 3. Whoopi Goldberg calls out her writers. It was a typical morning on The View, or so it seemed. Whoopi Goldberg, longtime moderator and industry icon, was mid-segment, introducing a lighthearted story about Shark Tank's Barbara Corcoran. Then, she stopped, paused, looked at the teleprompter with disbelief. The segment's copy had compared Corcoran's business instincts to actual sharks. It was meant to be clever. Maybe, but Whoopi wasn't having it. Live, on air, without hesitation, she turned to the camera and said, "Who wrote this?" The audience gasped, then nervously chuckled. Her co-hosts froze. This wasn't a staged moment. This was raw, real, and unfiltered Whoopi calling out the very writers behind the scenes of her own show. She didn't yell. She didn't storm off. But the message was clear, she wasn't going to read nonsense. The moment instantly went viral. Fans applauded her honesty. Critics debated whether it was professional. But one thing was certain, Whoopi had drawn a line. It reminded us that even seasoned hosts, even legends, have boundaries. And sometimes, the most powerful mic drop doesn't come with a shout, it comes with a single, simple question. Number 4. Sarah Jessica Parker's awkward pause. Sarah Jessica Parker has handled decades of fame with grace, from red carpets to tough interviews. But even seasoned celebrities have moments where words feel dangerous. In a 2025 appearance on Watch What Happens Live, host Andy Cohen posed a loaded question. What do you think of Lauren Sanchez's Vogue cover and her wedding to Jeff Bezos? A simple question? Maybe, but beneath it was a minefield. SJP froze. Her eyes shifted off camera. Her mouth opened, then closed. She gave a long pause, the kind that screams, I have thoughts, but I'm not about to share them. She eventually gave a polite, vague answer, praising the photo shoot's lighting and saying she looked nice, but the energy had changed. The room felt stiff, awkward, heavy. Social media exploded within minutes. Viewers dissected her body language, tone, and facial expressions like FBI agents. She's holding back, one tweet read. She knows something we don't, another speculated. And maybe she did. Or maybe she was just trying to navigate a question too politically loaded to answer honestly, especially on live TV. In a culture where every word becomes a headline, sometimes the most telling response is silence. Sarah didn't lash out. She didn't lie. She did something even more powerful. She hesitated. Number 5. Rick Springfield roasts a drowsy morning host. Morning interviews are usually safe, scripted, and half awake. But not when Rick Springfield's involved. In 2025, the rock legend best known for his hit Jesse's Girl was making the rounds to promote a new album. He appeared on a popular morning TV show, expecting the usual small talk. Instead, he got a half-asleep co-host. As Springfield answered a question, he noticed one of the hosts staring down, eyes glazed, barely blinking. Was he checking notes, or nodding off? Rick didn't miss a beat. Am I boring you? He asked, right on live TV. The host laughed nervously, trying to recover, but Rick doubled down, I get it, it's early. But come on, man. The moment was tense, hilarious, and completely real. Clips of the exchange went viral within hours. Twitter loved it. Gen Z called it rockstar energy. Boomers called it old-school accountability. Everyone agreed, the man still got bite. Rick Springfield wasn't angry. He wasn't rude. He was honest. And in a world of PR-smoothed interviews and fake laughs, that made it all the more refreshing and awkward. Number 6. Jane Fonda vs. Lilly Singh. At the 2025 SAG Awards, the red carpet was full of glitz, gowns, and grins until Jane Fonda arrived. A living legend, an activist, a woman who's never been afraid to speak her truth. She stopped for an interview with Lilly Singh, the energetic host and comedian. But the tone shifted fast. Lilly asked about Jane's climate activism but phrased the question in a way that seemed off. Something like, do you ever worry that your activism is too extreme for today's audience? Jane didn't smile. She didn't dodge. She stared directly at Lilly and calmly said, you're putting words in my mouth. The energy shifted. The red carpet buzz dulled. The people around them went silent. Lilly chuckled, trying to brush it off, but Jane didn't flinch. This wasn't drama for drama's sake. It was a generational clash, a live lesson in media framing, and a reminder, Jane Fonda doesn't play nice when it comes to her principles. She's 80 plus and still sharper than most interviewers. And she's not afraid to let you know it. Number 7. Cara Delevingne's Paper Towns disaster interview. In 2015, Cara Delevingne was Hollywood's rising star, model turned actress, now promoting her role in Paper Towns. But on a live Sacramento morning show, everything went sideways before the first question even ended. The hosts asked, did you even read the book?
Did I read the book?
Pause. Yes, the book her movie was based on. Cara answered with signature British sarcasm, no, I didn't bother reading it or the script. I just winged it.
No, I never read the book or the script, actually. I kind of winged it.
Yeah.
No, of course, I love the book.
Nice
I think
try.
the book's amazing.
She smiled. Dry, clearly joking. But the hosts didn't get the humor. They pushed further. You seem tired. Are you just not that into this? Cara's smile dropped. Just for a second. Then, ice-cold composure. She shut it down with another sarcastic line, but the damage was done. The tension? Palpable. The interview? Cut short. Later, Cara tweeted, some people just don't understand British humor, and she was right. The clip exploded online. Fans defended her. Critics debated her tone. But the bigger takeaway? Being misunderstood on live TV doesn't always mean you said the wrong thing, and sometimes, it means the room wasn't ready to hear it. Number 8. Jesse Eisenberg vs. Romina Puga. In 2013, Jesse Eisenberg was riding high. Fresh off The Social Network, and now promoting Now You See Me, the quirky actor was known for his intellectual, sometimes awkward vibe. But this? This went beyond awkward. He sat down with Romina Puga, a YouTuber and entertainment host, for a light-hearted promo interview. At least, that was the plan. From the very first minute, the energy fell off. Jesse didn't crack a smile. He didn't ease into it. Instead, he got snarky. When Romina referred to Morgan Freeman as Freeman, Jesse interrupted her. "You're on a first-name basis with Morgan?" His tone? Pure judgment.
You're wondering what it's like to work with Morgan Freeman and you can't remember that?
You know,
Don't call Morgan Freeman like you're on a Little League softball team.
He mocked her cue cards, questioned her format, then dropped the line that turned it all viral. "You're the carrot top of interviewers." Romina smiled nervously, tried to keep it together, but you could see it in her eyes that this wasn't playful teasing. This was public discomfort, caught on camera. After the interview aired, Romina admitted she left the set nearly in tears. The internet lit up. Some viewers defended Jesse, saying he was just being dry and awkward. Others called it straight-up bullying. Was it wit? Or was it ego? That's the thing with awkward celebrity moments, sometimes it's not a headline. It's a quiet, simmering tension that says everything without yelling a word. Whatever Jesse's intention was, the takeaway was clear: charisma without kindness can turn charm into cruelty fast. Whether it's sarcasm gone wrong, questions that push too far, or celebs just having a bad day, these awkward interviews live forever on the internet. They make us laugh, cringe, and realize even the biggest stars have very human moments. Which moment made you cringe the hardest? Drop your thoughts below, like if you've ever secondhand cringed on behalf of someone else, and don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity truths, twists, and unforgettable moments.